Hey guys, welcome back, and I have the wrong skin. Hey guys, Dwayne The Rock Johnson here. It's been a minute since my last upload, but that's alright. So far I've uploaded like, what, 3 Geometry Dash, maybe 4 Geometry Dash videos or something on the main channel in the past month or two, which isn't really Minecraft related, but I have actually been working on a mod in the past month, similarly to Breath of the Wild and it's not actually that similar to the Breath of the Wild and Minecraft project that I had going. So this is Breath of the Wild. It's a pretty cool game. So would you mind taking a picture with me? There, bro. I started developing it in Minecraft back in like 2020, and by developing, I mean learning Java. And by learning Java, I mean following a bunch of useless modding tutorials that don't actually teach you Java. And I ended up kind of dropping off the project like a year back, mostly because of a lack of motivation, partly because of school, also because of this, but we don't talk about that. Anyways, about that mod I was talking about, the mod is one of the worst FPS games of all time, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege in Minecraft. So, also, if you don't know what Rainbow Six Siege is, it's basically just a tactical 5v5 first-person shooter. And I say tactical lightly because but anyways, let's get to the actual mod. To my test world. I'm not signed in, nor do I have Optifine or any mods. So anyways, this is my mod testing world, at least for this mod. It's a little messy, but it's not nearly as messy as my old Breath of the Wild mod worlds were. So I'm not really gonna bother describing any of that or that, but what I will describe is if I press I, because that's the inventory key on here, because E is taken, and I go to the second page, you'll see Rainbow Six Siege primary weapons. Yes, these are all the primary weapons of the game. No, I'm not going to model any other ones because I'm way too lazy for that. As you can see, here we have an L85A2, which is in my hotbar. Now, if I select over this, some stuff appears on screen, which is kind of cool. So basically, with this, I can aim in and I can shoot. And it's kind of laggy because, as I said, I barely know how to code. And yes, the gun does work. Sorry, the gun does work for the most part. It's a little laggy because all the ray tracing is done server side, not client side, because I can't be bothered to figure out how to do it client side. But the main premise is it's a gun. You shoot it at things. Sorry. And yes, there are tilting mechanics as well. You can tilt, aim, shoot, although tilting doesn't do anything. I guess it's simply aesthetic. I added a cool hip fire thing. The hip fire does work, kind of. Yeah, the hipfire works, and you know, you can just like walk, just hold down, sorry, did not see you there. You just rip down your entire magazine and you run out of bullets, and you can reload. There's a cool reloading animation too. And yes, this did take me a month. I know, I suck at coding. As you can see, there's primary weapons, secondary weapons too, but I don't care about those. There's also a barricade, which I somehow messed up the item model for. Yep, that's the siege barricade, I guess. It does not have any audio because I can't be bothered to get those sounds, but I mean, can you shoot it? No, you cannot shoot it, but you can punch it, so it works. And they also added a bit of wall banging physics. So as you can see on our test subject here, I'm sorry, but yeah, you can shoot through glass. And if I also get something like a door, and I put this like over here, and as you can see, I can also shoot through doors. However, I cannot shoot through dirt. But there are some bugs, and by some, I mean probably a lot of bugs, but here's the main bug. If I shoot through glass, yeah, there's dirt in the way, but mostly because my wallbang implementation was really lazy and it just kind of doubled the ray trace. And honestly, I kind of wish I recorded the process of me figuring out how to code and like debug all this stuff. I don't actually have any of that because the only thing I recorded was... But I can like quickly go over some of the stuff. If you don't want to see any of that stuff and you just want to see the actual mod in use, just go to this timestamp. So here we are in IntelliJ, and as you can see, here's all of the classes. But anyways, I'm not gonna go through all of these since most of these are pretty self-explanatory, but I am going to go through a few of them that annoyed the hell out of me, which was mostly this one, first of all. And before I actually go over any of this, I want to thank Calpinjo. Calpinjo, I think that's how you pronounce it. I have no idea how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. But he makes a bunch of really great modding tutorials for beginners. So if you're looking into modding and you have no idea what you're doing, I'd recommend go checking him out. I'll leave a link in the description. Anyways, so about barely knowing how to code, that becomes very visible down here. So this is all just controlling the reload animation. I don't think I was supposed to do it this way. I don't know how else to do it. This kind of works. I'm not gonna bother trying to read any of this. And here's where I add like all the keys to lean left and lean right and reload and stuff like that. And then this is the evil part. Mixins. It's a love-hate relationship with mixins. I don't know how they work. I kind of know what they do, but I also have no idea how to use them. So in these mixing classes, I don't know the correct terminology for any of this, so I apologize profusely, but basically just kind of like overrides the game's code. Not necessarily override a specific method, but like you can add code to base game files that you wouldn't otherwise be able to change, which is kind of cool. Anyways, I abused the hell out of this, as you can see, to change the FOV, changing the position. I actually still need to fix this. All of this code is literally just copied from the player's bow holding pose. And this, the tilting mechanic, took me forever to figure out because I never actually figured out where to mix it into. Actually, I took this entire target line from the camera overhaul mod, so thanks, because I have no idea what this means. And there's some more stuff down here like mouse mix-in, which changes the sensitivity. And then we have some packets sent between the server and client to do stuff like shoot. This is all the ray tracing stuff. This also took a while, and this is also what causes all of the stupid bugs. And here are the sounds. These three don't exist. They're placeholders. And actually, if you look in mod items, this is where I added basically every item in the game. I'm not sure why I did this, because I'm not going to be adding every one of these, or at least making them functional, but I am leaving a GitHub, so if anyone for some reason wants to use anything I made in here and like add to it or whatever, or just literally take it, I do not care. Go ahead. I mean, I don't think you want to take any of the code since this is all garbage, but feel free. And then over here I have some models, textures, sounds, and here I actually have the textures that I made, which includes the barricade texture. And then if I go to weapons, here we have, you know, the LED5A2, all the stuff I can open in Blockbench. Honestly, I made this model in like a day. It's nothing amazing. It's not very good, but you know, it's recognizable. It works. Also, I have no idea how to pose it correctly. So enjoy firing this thing one-handed. And of course, I also have the reload and shoot sound, which I just grabbed directly from the game. So yeah, that's pretty much been the last month. And on that note, here's me fixing up some stuff before testing it. Okay, we are back, and I did fix up some stuff. So the first thing I did was I fixed a stupid ray tracing bug where you could shoot through one softwall and then it would just go through everything else. As you can see, it doesn't happen anymore. Oh, and also you can shoot glass now, so. Also, I actually added item models for these barricades now, as you can see. And also, instead of one single barricade, now we have a middle barricade, a left and right barricade. This is a single barricade, which I had before, and then I also made a middle barricade, which is basically just the backside texture, and then the left and right barricades, which only have the yellow boards on the left and right. So we can have those kind of double barricades you see on maps. And along with that, I also added some noises, so if I go into survival here and I start punching it, I mean, I didn't design it around being broken normally like this, so it just kind of repeats the same sound over and over again, but it does have the normal breaking sound effect. And you may have noticed I also have another tool here, which is a knife, and it does 101 damage. So right now the range is kind of unrealistic for a knife. It still is default Minecraft range, but if I go into survival and I just punch one of these barricades with the knife, you may notice that it will actually take some damage. And then if I knife it again, it will actually completely break. Now for the multiplayer test. Hopefully this works. I'm not sure if it will. Oh, okay, it did not work. Alright, take 2. Crap. Alright, take 3. I think we're in. Okay, this is take 3, I think. 4. I don't know. I actually forgot what take this is. Should work. Theoretically, it should work. Yeah, it's not working. Now, I think all I have to do is just fix the scope overlay and maybe the recoil. I'm not sure what's happening to the recoil. I just need to fix a few things, and we should be good. Please don't crash. 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 Please don't. We have attack. Attack spawns ruins. And now if we look at defense, defense is going kitchen site. Every defender seems to be roaming right now. Looks like Jigmat is kind of confused, hiding in showers. It looks like Sight has been left completely alone. Now if we go back to attack, Boba is already in, and we actually have a team kill. Great play, amazing plays going out by defense team. We actually have a little bit of a fortification strat coming out by Jigmat here. Same with Epsilon, some very interesting barricade placements. And we actually have a gunfight going out between Instant Cholesterol and Epsilon. And it looks like they're really trying to hold out the fort here. Defense is in a 2v3. Their teammate seems to be giving away their location in all chat. While we have both Boba and Instant Cholesterol, it looks like they don't know exactly what to do. Instant Cholesterol is holding an angle he really doesn't need to be holding. We still have two people hiding behind this fort, and it doesn't look like they know exactly where they are. And it looks like, okay, and both of them are taken out by... And it looks like we have some shots immediately going out in sight here. Perhaps Jigmat and KCZ are going for a bit of a run out here. They're going for, and it looks like Lack of Pepper does not know that Jigmat, okay, Jigmat runs back inside. Okay, all defenders are back in sight. So we have two defenders, or actually three defenders on site. Two of them are currently occupying the bathroom stalls, while Jigmat is hiding behind this desk here. We still have all three defenders on site. Boba looks like he wants to start pressuring outside while he's above site. It looks like he's going to get run out on by Jigmat. There's going to be a gunfight here, and it looks like Boba is going to win against Jigmat. His run out was unsuccessful, but now Epsilon may get a trade. So Boba does get traded out by Epsilon, but there is Lack of Pepper holding this angle, waiting for a defender to peek it. But it looks like there is another gunfight going out. It looks like Instant Cholesterol is actually pushing this, and he takes out one of the defenders. Now he's going to be putting pressure, but does he know that Epsilon is also waiting behind on his right side, right next to the hostage? It looks like Epsilon is in a 1v2 situation here. Can he clutch this out? And he gets into a gunfight with Instant Cholesterol. He takes out Instant Cholesterol, and now it's just Lack of Pepper. But he has the hostage while he was in a gunfight with Instant Cholesterol. Oh, what an amazing play from attackers! What? Oh my god, I'm gonna stop casting. That was awful. And now we have swap sides, so defenders are now attacking, attackers are now defending. So we have attackers all looking like they're going to push the roof here, while defenders look like they're going to be actually fortifying heavily. They're going to be barricading themselves actually with the hostage here, while Epsilon looks like he's going to be putting pressure directly onto site. And now Jigmat is actually very low right now. He actually took some shots, perhaps from friendly fire. He's actually only at 6 HP. He's thinking about going to kitchen window, but he's worried about getting shot because of how low HP he is. He doesn't want him going in front. But now Epsilon is going to be peeking this. He has to watch out for those iron bars. It looks like Jigmat is holding a redstone repeater for some reason. I am going to take that away. But it looks like these hackers have actually already taken half of site, but they are fortifying heavily right now. However, they are getting absolutely barraged. These barricades are not going to stop the bullets. However, if they are able to body block the hostage in front of them, they may be able to get the attackers to shoot the hostage. It doesn't look like the hostage has taken damage so far, and it looks like Jigmat might be trying to push in from kitchen, which he can safely do, as this is already barricaded off. No one is going to be holding his jump in right now. And here it looks like Epsilon is actually going to be opening up the main entrance here. Meanwhile, both Keith and Jigmat have already taken kitchen here. They're going to be opening his barricade, but there are two defenders going to be holding this crossfire, and he's going to be taken out by Instant Cholesterol in the crossfire. And there's going to be a team kill actually coming out by the attackers. And actually it looks like all the attackers are dead. So it looks like we have defense. It looks like they're going to be punching the hostage. They look like maybe they're trying to weaken it so the attackers are going to be able to hit it in one shot. And it looks like attackers are already right up to site. And it looks like Jigmat is actually going to be opening a hookah balcony barricade, and they can't put their barricades down. However, attackers are still going to be putting pressure, and defense is still able to hold off as they all have to filter in through one doorway, which is very difficult for the attackers. There's going to be gunfight between Epsilon and Keith. Epsilon is able to take out Keith. Meanwhile, Lack of Pepper is going to be sitting in the corner waiting for Epsilon. Well, it looks like Jigmat is actually going to be entering kitchen. Looks like he's going to try to come up. Cool vibes. There's a lot happening right now. Instant Cholesterol is going to be shot off rappel by Boba, who is still holding down sight, while Lack of Pepper is actually going to get into a gunfight with Epsilon, and they are going to trade. And meanwhile, Jigmat is actually blocked off of Cool Vibes, and he is just able to see Boba. They have made each other aware of both of their positions, and now they're going to be getting into a gunfight. But it looks like Instant Cholesterol already has the hostage, and although Boba does take out Jigmat, Instant Cholesterol actually has the hostage, but is he able to take out the hostage? They're in a 1v1 situation. Will he see him? But Instant Cholesterol is taken by surprise, but he's able to take out Boba, and attackers win the round. Okay, can we just go to house? Can we just go to house?
No, just forget that map and go to the house.
Let's go to house. Okay, everyone just go. So it looks like defenders have taken Kid's bedroom. One of the attackers, Boba, is going to be lit up by a spawn peeking Jigmat, while Into Cholesterol is actually also going to be peeking house here. He's not going to be taking damage. Meanwhile, Jigmat is going to also be opening windows on games, while another attacker, Boba, is going to be entering into basement. And it doesn't look like Jigmat notices. There's a lot going on right now. There's a lot of gunshots going out. While Lack of Pepper is actually going to be holding this top angle. He's still going to be in a gunfight with two defenders. Lack of Pepper is in a very vulnerable position. These fences are not going to do a lot to stop bullets. However, Boba is actually already in the building, and it doesn't look like the defenders notice. He can catch them very off guard here. Lack of Pepper on Treehouse is actually going to be taken out by Jigmat, but it looks like Boba is going to be caught while Instant Cholesterol is taken out by Keith. Now Keith is in a 1v3 situation, or 1v2 situation, and he's going to be engaging in a gunfight with Epsilon. Epsilon does not notice. Keith misses every single shot he has. He's going to be getting the gunfight with Jigmat, but he is going to lose. Defense takes the first point. Alright, and the second round has started. Same site, same spawn location for attackers. They're going to be entering on Front Street, while the defenders are in Kid's bedroom. A little spawn peek happening on Front Street, but they do not know that the attackers, all three attackers, have actually already entered basement here. It looks like they may be attempting to push up main stairs here. It doesn't look like they know. And while Jigmat is going to be taken by surprise by all three attackers, it looks like he's going to be taking one shot. Meanwhile, Jigmat takes heavy damage, but he's going to be taken out. So now the defenders are in a 2v3. Keith is going to be slowly pushing up main stairs, while one defender, Instant Cholesterol, is actually on site. Meanwhile, Epsilon is actually off site. While he is fortifying the same floor, he is not exactly on site. He's going to be in a gunfight. He doesn't have a lot of cover here. He may be getting flanked, and Epsilon looks like he's getting absolutely surrounded. While all the attackers are pressuring onto Epsilon, he's going to be getting into a gunfight with Boba. Epsilon on 2 HP. Well, Boba's also on 2 HP, but Epsilon also he takes out Boba, but now he has to take the gunfight with Keith. And both attackers are at 2 HP, and Epsilon is actually going to take out both of these attackers. And now Epsilon is going to be in a gunfight with Lack of Pepper. Lack of Pepper's backing off. Both are at 2 HP. Meanwhile, there's still Instant Cholesterol holding offsite with 20 HP. This is looking very good for the defenders here, especially with a lack of one-shot headshot. So gunfights in this game come almost totally up to damage and positioning, and it looks like Lack of Pepper being in a 1v2 at 2 HP doesn't look like he's in a very good situation, and he actually is flanking around in this hall. Oh, and Lack of Pepper is going to take Epsilon from the back. But now we have Instant Cholesterol sitting outside. So now we are starting, and if we go to defense really quickly, it looks like defense has actually gone master better. It looks like Lack of Pepper is going to be doing questionable actions on this pig. Meanwhile, if we go to attack, it actually looks like Instant Cholesterol and Jigmat, two attackers, are going to be entering into main entrance. And it doesn't look like the defenders have noticed yet. All three defenders on site, two are fortified directly in with the pig. It looks like they were able to move the pig into here by punching it. So we have two defenders directly with the hostage. One defender is hiding in bathroom. Meanwhile, we have one attacker, Instant Cholesterol, pushing up main stairs. The other two attackers are still outside. Exactly 2 minutes left. And it looks like Jigmat is going to try to go to Treehouse, but he isn't going to be able to get an angle from here. Instant Cholesterol is able to take out Boba, one of the defenders in bathroom. Meanwhile, Epsilon is actually going to be jumping in first floor, and the defenders are stuck in a 2v3. However, they're in a very good position, fortified directly with the hostage, but Lack of Pepper gets lit up to 2 HP. Now it's turned into a kill box for the defenders. They've actually gotten one of the attackers, Instant Cholesterol, down to 2 HP. But now Instant Cholesterol is joined by his teammate, but Instant Cholesterol is taken out by Lack of Pepper. It's just Jigmat, and his teammate is nowhere near him at this point. Jigmat is all alone, going against two defenders at 7 HP. He doesn't look like he's in a very good position, and he ends up getting taken out by Keith. Now it is just Epsilon in a 1v2, and Epsilon is actually pushing these attackers. He knows where they are. Epsilon actually has 20 HP. Looks like he may be trying to wallbang this, but both defenders are actually running out. But does Epsilon notice? He's still in Kids, and he may not have heard them run out, but it does look like he anticipates the defenders pushing him, and he is holding this hallway. He does expect them to be holding this, and he is able to take a shot, and he takes out both Lack of Pepper and Keith ZZZ. So now we have the defenders going to the same site, and it looks like they're going to be punching the hostage behind the bed. They're not going to put themselves in as much of a kill box situation as they were before. The attackers are still spawning Front Street. It does look like Instant Cholesterol is actually going to be pushing through this area, and meanwhile Epsilon looks a little confused. He may be trying to push through near White Stairs, but he can't seem to find a good way in, so he's going to open his window. Meanwhile, looking at the defenders, they're still fortifying the hostage, but it does look like Instant Cholesterol has actually entered site floor. He's gone to construction. but he's actually going to be exiting the building again. Meanwhile, Epsilon is actually going into basement, not 100% sure why. And there's a lot of shooting happening. Mostly attackers entering the building. It looks like there's a gunfight going out, and Instant Cholesterol actually takes out Boba, and both the attackers now join each other in Kid's bedroom. They know that the hostage isn't Master, and Jack actually directly pushes sight, and now Lack of Pepper is in a 1v3. It looks like he is hiding in this kill box area, but he is taken out by the attackers. You guys won. You guys won. Keith's dead. He didn't respawn.
Yay! Shut up.
Hold on. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
What? Peter just killed me.
Hi, Matthew. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna call it off here. I think that's good.